All right, hello. We're going to take a look at how to do the data table calculations and graphs, all for IB Physics IA. All right, I'm going to show you a lot of tricks here. So, of course, as you watch the video, you can pause, rewind, fast forward as I go through all the various steps. Okay, so right here we can see that I have some data right here. This is from the volume and pressure lab that was worked on in IB Physics standard level class. These are the independent variables right here for the volume, and here are the pressures from 3 different trials. There was a trial 1. I'm just typing it in if I can spell it right, and trial 3. All right, so I'm going to show what the proper format, how it would look, and a couple of tips just in the data table itself. So I have the titles up here. Notice what I do not have. I do not have any units here. You want the numbers without the units at the end here. So, okay, it's just the values. The units will go up here. In fact, I'll do that right now. You want to do the variable, what you want that to be, slash what the units are. In this case, it was milliliters. And you can do that for both. So pressure slash, I think we had kilopascals. And then the next one down, we have to do our uncertainties. These were measured with a syringe, so these are analog, and it was said to be in class to do 0.2. So you want to do insert symbol here. Look for your delta symbol. Insert. And then let's see, volume. And I think we decided in class 0.2 was a good estimate for the analog uncertainty there. For the pressure, because this is a digital readout, we have to look at the smallest decimal point. You can see 0.02 there, and all of them, the smallest is on the hundredths place. So, here's a little trick here. I can copy and paste this over, so I don't have to enter all that stuff and just fix this one here. But this should be 0.01, and the units were kilopascals. Where's it? K, capital P-A. All right, so there it is. Oh, let me make that a little nicer look. I'll put spaces in there so it just looks a little nicer. It's true that a moderator will mark you down if it doesn't look good, even if all the information is factual. Don't worry about, see how this kind of like hides there? Don't worry about that. If it's bothering right now, you can put the cursor between the columns and double click, and you'll see that, but honestly, don't worry about that now. That'll be fixed later. And this column here is where the average is. Now, I'm going to also show you how you can use Excel. The formula key in Excel can do the work for you, so you don't have to do it by a calculator. Okay, it's one of the powers of Excel. Oops. It helps if you can spell it right. All right, now it's going to be the same symbols. Now the uncertainty is not going to be the same. I'm just copying over to save a little bit of work here. This is not going to be that. Now you should know to do the uncertainty in the average dependent variable column, this is a series of steps. But at this point right now, what I'm going to do is just fix this. I'm going to show you a formula for the average. And it's this key right here, fx. It's a function. Just click on that. And a bunch of recently used ones are right there. I'm going to have average. So you just click on average and hit OK. Again, I'm doing this video as if you're on a laptop. Okay, so hopefully you are, not on an iPad. All this information you're getting, like clicking, is on a laptop. Well, you can use trackpad, whatever. Okay, anyways, you see how that says there, number? I am going to just click right in here right away and make sure, see how it's those dashes that are highlighted around it? That way I want it to be average on just these 3 right here. And just hit OK. And there's the average, and so much easier. Now, you don't have to do that every single time, because watch this. You can go to the, see how the cursor turns from a fat cross to a thin cross in the bottom right? I can either double click or click and drag. Either one will work. I'll click and drag. And when I do that, it copies that formula down, so it's the averages of all of these. Nice, right? Okay, so this is all the information. Well, I didn't get the uncertainty there yet. Okay. Let's just do that right now. Now, you can also have Excel do the uncertainty. Now, you can figure out the range, but honestly, I would rather you use Excel's power so you don't have to use a calculator at all. Now, to get that uncertainty, it's always the biggest range divided by 2, right? So I'm going to put a column in here. I'm going to put a bunch of columns in here. You can do this, what I'm about to show you is one cell, one big long formula. but I'm going to separate it one step at a time here. So I want to take the maximum value, max. I'm going to hit OK. And I want to refer to just these three right here. And hit OK. Now that's the biggest number, which obviously you can eye it up yourself. I know that. But by putting this 4 million in here does make it a lot easier. Now I want the minimum in here because we're going to drag it down. The minimum, min, hit OK. Same three numbers. Hit OK. Now I'm going to subtract those two. Okay, and there are ways you can skip around. There's a formula for the range itself, but I'm just showing you step by step. Oh wait, I don't want to do that. You always start if I'm not going to do the function here, you want to enter the formula yourself. Always hit the equals sign first. So I want to go in this cell, hit equals, and click on that cell here, so it refers to that. Hit the minus button on your keyboard, and click on that. Now it's true you could enter in the designators here, F5, G5, but it's easy just to click on it and to hit enter. Now that's the range. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that one divided by 2. I hit equals, I clicked on it, I hit the divide, the slash key, and the number 2, hit enter. Now, you may think, do I have to do this every single one? No. Click on all of these, so you highlight them, go to the thin cross, and drag them down, and it does automatically for all of them. Nice, right? And then you can look at this. Which is the biggest one? Oh, there it is. But you know what? You can even make it easier for yourself. You don't even have to eye it up. Like, watch this. I want to type in what I want my uncertainty to be. Yes, I am going to go back and type it in here to fit it. But I'm going to see this. I don't feel like looking at it. I'm just going to see whatever the biggest one is. Max. Okay. You can move this over. Which is the biggest one there? I don't know. Oh, it's that one. Yeah, obviously you can see it. I get it. But this way Excel does it for me. So even if I make a change here, everything automatically changes here. So now I'm going to go ahead and type in 0.485. Here's a little secret though. I'm going to have to eventually change this before I graph it. You'll see here in a moment. Okay, so that I have that. So now you may say this, okay, but there's some problems here. Absolutely. If I were going to put this in your report, this would not look very good. So we're going to make a couple changes in here. I'm going to double click between the E and the F here to widen that part out. And then these titles should be centered over these 3 columns. So if I click and drag and highlight those 3, go back to home. See this button here? It looks like this. It's merge and center. It automatically centered that title over the 3 columns. You see that? There's that. Now it looks nice. A couple other things here. Decimals should match. Look at this. No decimal places. That's a 0.2. That's 1 decimal place. So these should have 1 decimal place. So I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to go to this button right here to increase decimals. There it goes. They're all 0.0s. But it should match. These are all 2 decimals. They do match. But let's say your data didn't match. You could increase or decrease the decimals there so it matches. And yep, that matches. 0.485, that actually should be 2 decimals. So I'm going to actually change this. I'm just going to round it myself. 0.49. Okay, so that's good. But I'm going to go highlight all of this because this is my data table. Not this part on the right. This helped me figure out the uncertainty. But I'm going to go ahead and just hit this button to center everything. Boom. Everything's centered. And to put borders around it. All borders. And honestly, that's a pretty good data table right there. That's actually the way exactly it should be. Now let's say I want to put this into my document. Highlight it all. You can either hit Control-C or you can right-click over it, like I just did, and go to Copy. And then I'm going to open up a Word doc right now. But here's another trick. It's copied, so it's in the clipboard right now. But I'm going to right-click here. Look. Use this one here, Picture. Make sure you insert as picture every time. And look, I can make it bigger and smaller. This way, the formatting is as you wanted it to be in the original Excel file. Don't worry about these little green spots here. That just says there's a function there. But see, this way, if you were to insert as a table, it could get messed up in the formatting, especially if you're going to convert to a PDF or whatever. this is the best way to do it. Now, if you're working in a Google Doc, you still have to paste it into a Word doc first as a picture and then into a Google Doc. That's a workaround. You can't paste right into a Google Doc. I have Word doc first as a picture. Then from here, now it's a picture, I can paste that into a Google Doc. Anyways, right now, here's the thing. We're going to talk about graphing, and you're going to see something interesting here. So as graphing, here's the step. I want to graph this stuff right here, that, which is the independent variable set, versus this one. Now, you want to highlight both of those rows. Now, they're not next to each other, so here's the trick. Highlight these. Let go of your mouse or your trackpad button. Then hold the control key down, right? I am holding the control key. You can't see, obviously, but I am. And hold this down, and then let go. I let go of all buttons. I'm not touching any buttons right now. And those are the two columns that are highlighted. Yes, this one's highlighted as well, even though it's clear because there's a darkened line around it. It just shows the first one you clicked on. So now I'm going to insert a graph. And I always want to use XY scatter right there. That's always a physics graph. But watch this. There's a problem. There's a problem. The problem is this is an inverse relationship. You see this? Okay, and this is what's going to happen sometimes. So if you're doing your IA and you end up getting something like this, you have to make a change to it, okay? Because you can't put a trend line here. Now, you would have to put, if you get an inverse relationship like this, you would still have to put this into your document, okay? But you can't put an error bar or, you can't put a trend line into it. Okay, because it's not straight. But you still got to fix a couple things up here. So I'm going to change the title. Okay, double clicked on it. Pressure versus volume. Okay, you always do the dependent variable first. Pressure versus volume. I am going to add some labels. So add chart element, axes, primary, horizontal. I can type in there. That is volume. Parentheses, and then put the units. Then I also have to do vertical. So this is pressure, KPA. Okay, still not done yet. You really should have, okay, I don't need this. You really should have more grid lines. That's not hard to do. Right click on it, and don't have it on here. Oh, wait. There it is. Okay. Add minor grid lines. See that? So I had to click on the axes. Right click here. Add minor grid lines. You had to right click on the axes. Still not good yet. I need error bars. Now the error bars represent the uncertainty, which is 0.49, right? So what you do here is add chart element. Go to error bars. Go to more error bars options. Go down here to custom, specify value, and we want it to be 0.49. So just type right over top of that, 0.49, and you have to do the both. 0.49. Okay. It's really small, isn't it? But it is the uncertainty, so we're going to go with it. And get rid of the sideways ones that look like make it look like TIE fighters. Just click on it and hit the delete key, and wow, you really don't see them. They're really small because your data was so good close together here. Like you might have data like this that's very small. Now I'm going to tell you a secret coming up. We're going to end up inversing, but I want to put this graph into my document. So right click on top of it or hit Control C, go to copy, go to my document, right click, paste as picture, like that. Again, make sure you paste as picture so you can change it. Now, I would type in here something on the lines of graph shows inverse relationship. So I will inverse dependent variable to get it linear, something along those lines. All right, and this is what we're going to do. we're going to inverse it, and I still got to show you how to add the max and min lines, but I'm not going to, doesn't make sense to do that now because it's not linear. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I don't, well, you know what? I don't have to delete. I can just move it off to the side. You can do this. I'm going to put that over here. It's going to stay over there, but I don't care. I'm going to make another data table. Now, why am I doing this? We need this to be straight. So I'm going to change the data. I'm going to pretty much copy all this down. All right. And we're going to make another data table of the inverse of all that. So the first one is going to be, and I'm going to say, you can spell out. I'm going to type out inverse pressure. I could have brought pressure to the -1 power or something like that. So it is that. It is 1 over pressure. And the units are 1 over kilopascals, like before. It's, oh, whoops, let me undo that. I want that one. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to do that one here. That way I can make my changes and I could do this. It's still going to be 0.01, but 1 over kilopascal. Because what I'm going to do here is, okay, let me do this trick before merge and center. But now at all of this, I want it to be the inverse of all this data. Oh, let me copy this here. Trial names. Okay, so right here, hit equals 1 divided by that cell right there. Enter. So I'm going to straight it down. And then it did all that. It automatically, if you can double check, it's all referred. I entered all of it. And we have quite a few decimals there. So I'm going to get rid of it to get down to 2 decimals. Like so. That's what I want. It's not center, but we can go back and center later. And I want the average inverse pressure. Yeah, I am abbreviating. That's fine. You could abbreviate how you wish. It's going to be the same units here. You know, I already merged. Let me unmerge so I can easily copy this. All right, now I'm going to go back and merge it again. Again, the reason why I did that is so I could easily copy it over the same thing. Now I got to show the uncertainty. Okay. Here, let me just bring that down. I got to do 1 over, like so. But the units, or the this is going to be different, and I don't know what it is yet. But that's okay. I can copy. Watch this. This is nice. Copy. Boom. It did it all. And it automatically refers to the next one. Double check here. Look. B18 to D18. This is referring to the same ones. Okay. So again, you want to look for the biggest one. So I will let Excel tell me which is the biggest one. Using the max function again. Which is that? That's my uncertainty, 0.019. Okay. And honestly, I went out 1 more decimal there. I could do the same thing here. It's fine. It went out 1 more. Okay, so, let's make this look a little better here. Let's center everything. Make sure there's grid lines around everything. Okay, now let's graph it. Now, if we graph it and it looks like a straight line, we did good. Highlight that. Let go. Hold the control key down. And highlight that. Just like that. Let go of all the buttons. Go to Insert. XY Scatter. Lo and behold, it's all straight. Look how beautiful. There you go. It's exactly what you wanted. All right. So now we're going to do a couple things here. Now it looks perfectly straight and exactly what you should see. Is that we're going to add error bars. We're going to add trend line. We're going to add equational line. And we're going to show how to do the max and min lines. All right. This can take a few steps here. So here we go. We're already at 20 minutes. Hopefully we're done to be done in a few more minutes here. To add, let's see, what do we want to do first? Really doesn't matter. I'm going to do error bars. Okay. Let's see. Go to add chart element, error bars. Go to custom, specify value. I want, let's see, where is it? Oh, I typed it wrong in there. It's supposed to be 0.019. I'll go back and fix that here. 0.019. Same thing. Delete that. 0.019. Hit OK. Oh, you can see them. Get rid of the horizontal ones. And perfect. That looks really good. Get rid of this. You don't need that. That looks perfect here. Yeah, I said I wanted to fix that. Let me put it to a decimal. There we go. All right, let's do a few more things here. We need to add the max and min line. So to do that, we have to make two tiny little data tables here. I'm going to do max slope. So the max slope coordinates start at the bottom of the first error bar and go top of the last error bar. So it's going to be these x coordinates. So I'm going to hit equals this one, enter, equals the last one, enter. Now this y coordinate will be the original y coordinate minus the uncertainty, right? So equals this one here. We want to go minus. My uncertainty is way over here. That's why I moved my graph so I could see that. In fact, I'll move it a little more. Yeah, it did go negative. It's true. Okay, so we're going to go equals this one. Now I'm going to go to the top. So plus, add, hit the plus, that one. Boom. Now we're going to do min slope, but we're going to reverse what we added and subtracted for the last, or for the y coordinates. Still the same x coordinates. This one there, and this one there. Now the y coordinates, you're going to start for the min slope, start at the top of the first error bar and go to the bottom of the last. So equals, you want to go hit this one and go to the top, so you add the uncertainty. Now this one here, go to the last one and minus the uncertainty. Now, if we did it right, watch this. You click in here, click, this left click, then right click like that, and you want to go to select data and add series name. There it is, max slope. X values, these two. Y values, make sure you delete what's in there first. These two. Look, it did it. Perfect. Hit OK. Now we're going to add the min slope. Series name. X values, these two. Y values, delete this. There they are. Perfect. Hit OK. All right, now we need to add 3 lines. One best fit line, and the max and min line, and equations of the line. Here we go. Click on the original set of data there, and there's several ways you could do this. I'm going to right click. Go to add trend line. Scroll down over here, display equation on chart. There it is. Nice. Now there is your slope. That's what doing your IA is all about, getting that relationship. And this ends up being an inverse relationship. And this is the thing you're going to talk about the most in your IA conclusion. I'm going to type in here because we need to print this out. I'm going to just call this the best fit, line of best fit, or trend line. A lot of people like to say best fit, so there it goes. I'm going to put that one there. We're going to add 2 more. Really easy to do. We need the max and min line. So go right there to that top one. See, it says max slope. Right click. Go to the trend line. Add trend line. There it is. We need the equation. There's the equation. Nice, right? You can move. I'm moving over here so it looks better when I put it to the main document. So that's the max slope. I'm really going to type it in there. Max slope. Oop, let me move that over a little bit so I can see it. There it is. Okay, now I need to get the min slope. See it right there? Right click. Add trend line. Scroll down. Display equation. Okay. And then min slope. Now, when you go to calculate your slope uncertainty, those are the 2 numbers you're going to use. It's going to be this number, minus this number divided by 2. All right, let's finish up this graph here. I need to change the title. This will be inverse pressure. Oop, can't spell it right. Inverse pressure versus volume. I need to add chart elements. I need axis title. Let's see what this was, just a volume. Units. I need to add vertical. I'm going to abbreviate a little bit. Inverse. And the units, of course, 1 over kPa. There's that. I need to add more grid lines. So click on the x-axis here, right-click, add minor, do it the same thing. That one. And there you go. So what I would do, I forgot to put this in my document. I highlighted all that. Copy. Right-click, then go to picture. Make sure you add picture. And then I'm going to put in, go back, right-click, copy, go to the document, right-click, picture. It's in the next page. There it is. Everything's there that we need. So it's a really quick review. We're at 26 minutes already. Got my title. Got my axes labels with units. I got the plots. I got the error bars. I got all the minimum gradient grid lines. I got 3 lines. I got the best fit line. I got the max slope, the min slope, and I got the equations for all of them. And I would probably have moved these over a little bit. That's a minor detail, but there you go. And then now you can insert that into your IA and get a 7 on your IB for your IB physics grade. All right.